there are some hungers that are better starved than fed. In this Royal A.I. exclusive cheating revenge story, we'll go into the most brutal act of betrayal so far. When a wife is caught cheating, the husband finds out she hawk-tua'd a whole cult of cheaters. As crazy as her cheating was, his raw revenge hit even harder. So be sure to stay till the end. Before we start, offer the like button, a toothpaste-filled Oreo.
The room buzzed with strange-looking people wearing awkward smiles and clothing. About 20 people sat in a circle, 10 were standing, some were starting to hold hands, like it was some sacred ritual. My wife, Sarah, stood up and addressed the circle, yapping about how the outsiders won't understand real love like they all have. Let's call it what it is: cheating without shame, preaching affairs. Then a loud cough took over. A process server walked towards Sarah, asking to verify her last name. She defensively stepped back and nodded. He shoved the divorce papers into her hands. "You've been served. Divorce summons. Respond in 30 days. Have a wonderful night." She turned silent, visibly shaken. People start whispering. The server turned around and started to walk out. She turned pale. I took a picture with a flash, her eyes locking on mine from across the room. Her screech was soothing to me. Finally, I rejoiced. Chaos erupted, chairs scraping, people yelling at me to get out. 2 men ran towards me, grabbing me as I heard a mass of cops entering. Oh, finished, finally. Everyone got nuked. I got my revenge. That was the end of her precious new life, at her dream cult, Cheatology. But it started so normal. We met in college, fell hard, married young at 24, built a home, had our son at 26, stable jobs, family close by. Until she got bored, of course. She found this group of free-minded weirdos, the Lovely Collective. I call them different, Cheatology. They sold lies about freedom and open love for everyone as empowerment. What does that even mean? Well, I found out and it wrecked us. One kid, our safe world, gone because of her choices. To see how I tore it all down, we have to go back. Sarah and I met during our junior year at college. It was one of those quick sparks. We shared a class on basic coding. She sat next to me, asked for notes. Her laugh pulled me in right away. We started dating that week, walks on campus, late-night talks in the dorm. By graduation, we knew it was real. I proposed 6 months later over cheap pizza in my tiny apartment. She said yes with tears in her eyes. We married at 24, right after I landed my first tech job. Nothing fancy, just family, a backyard setup at her parents' place. I felt like the luckiest guy, stable from the start. My job paid well, entry-level developer at a small firm, long hours, but it grew fast. I fixed bugs, built apps. Sarah took a part-time admin gig at a local office, filing papers, answering phones. She liked the routine and the ease of it, said it let her dream big without stress. We rented a cozy 2-bedroom near work, saved for the future. Weekends meant hikes or movie nights, no drama. Just us building something solid, you know? Then our son, Alex, came along at 26. Surprise, but the best kind. Sarah quit full-time work for a bit. Stayed home those first months. I worked extra shifts to cover bills. Her parents helped a ton. They lived 10 minutes away, retired, and always willing to jump in. Babysat when I traveled for training. Alex's grandparents spoiled him. Cuddles, stories, fresh cookies. Sarah went back part-time when he turned 2. Balanced it all. Drop-offs at preschool, pickups together. Our life felt picture perfect. Dinners as a family, park trips on Sundays. I came home to her smile every day. But small cracks showed up around year 5. Sarah started complaining about the routine. It's all the same, she'd say over coffee. Work, home, kid, repeat. She picked up these self-growth books, titles like Unlock Your Inner Fire or Break Free from Chains. Read them at night while I coded or watched some Netflix. At first, I thought it was good. She wanted more spark. We tried date nights, Babysitter for Alex? Dinner out. It helped some, but she dove deeper. Joined online forums about personal change. Shared quotes with me. We all need to evolve, she'd insist. It didn't help her as her boredom grew. I noticed she wasn't just bored, but she got a bit annoyed at me because I didn't share her need for new live adventures. I mean, we got a kid, life's good. How are all those new age or popular lifestyle hypes on social media going to do for us? I didn't tell her that though, I just let her to her thing and let her be. Mornings got more quiet. She'd stare out the window, phone in hand. I asked what was wrong. Just feeling stuck, she'd reply. Tried to listen, suggested therapy or a hobby. She nodded but kept reading. Those books pushed ideas of shaking things up, not just jobs or goals, relationships too. Subtle at first. Then her new work friend entered the picture. Call her Farty. Met her at the office holiday party. Sarah's coworker, been there years. Divorced twice, one kid with the ex. Farty trained new hires, so she took Sarah under her wing. They texted a lot after shifts. Farty dropped by once or twice, always chatty, but something felt off. She'd give me this dirty look. You know the look, I mean. Whenever I was in hearing proximity, within my own home, she would make jokes about my family relationship, but indirectly, so I couldn't directly call her out on it. Also awkward, complimented my pants once, then directly followed that by saying that she likes men in blue jeans, and makes sure to try different ones whenever she got the chance. Say what now? I just looked at Sarah, but she was laughing. More time passed, and it resulted in Farty openly bragging about her adventures. No strings, fun with anyone. Sarah told me she didn't judge, but it bugged me. I didn't like to spend quality time with my wife, talking about Farty's twisted choices in life, and it kind of irritated me that my wife was getting buddy-buddy with her. She's just wild, Sarah said with a shrug. I warned her to keep distance. Sarah then told me that I was also like that when being with my friend Dwight. I then told her that's not even comparable, that she's reaching here. Here's the thing, yeah, I'm close to Dwight. We grew up together. We even went on a couple's vacation once with Dwight and his wife. Dwight's like a brother to me, so it's natural for us to visit each other, but ever since he started his own restaurant and we all had kids, we just saw each other every 3 or 4 weeks. First time Dwight saw Farty, he liked her because he couldn't believe all the things she would say, and it made Dwight laugh all the time. The second time, he realized she was actually like that, and she wasn't playing a persona, and Dwight was sober. This was during a barbecue we organized with kids present. He told me that he and his wife didn't like her much because she kept making inappropriate jokes, strictly adult jokes, while the kids were playing around. That was about it for contact between my trustee Dwight and Miss Farty. Farty pushed talks on empowerment, only concerning females, also about how men naturally always do things to make women less empowered. Talks on how marriage could be flexible. Open relationships as modern love. Sarah laughed it off at home, but I saw her eyes light up sometimes. But I was in denial because I let that woman rant her stupidity in my home. Farty's influence crept in. Sarah mentioned exploring boundaries over dinner one night. You've got to be kidding me. Alex played nearby, clueless. I pushed back. We're good as is. First time I saw my wife differently, as I knew she normally never talked like this or had any interest in those things. She agreed when I said that we're good, but the seed was there. I felt that now the genie was out of the bottle. I was pissed for the rest of the night, might admit that I was noticeably pissed for the next week. Sarah's shifts bumped up, more time away. She came home tired, distant. Hugs felt shorter. Still, I chalked it up to stress. Mostly because our routine held, though. Grandparents still helped with Alex. Family and friend barbecues kept us tight, too. But Farty kept calling. She's like a big sister, Sarah said. No, she isn't. I didn't buy it. Things stayed calm on the surface. Alex turned 4, started preschool full-time. We celebrated with cake and his grandparents. Sarah seemed happy then. Hugged me tight, even wore the oily parfum she bought in Egypt. It's a limited one that was my favorite. But the complaints returned. I need more than this, she'd whisper. Self-growth talks weren't growingly annoying. Now it turned personal. Farty fueled it. One evening, Sarah shared a story from work. Farty on a retreat with friends, swinging, sharing partners. Called it liberating. Sarah giggled. Crazy, right? I didn't laugh, told her it sounded toxic and that I thought we shouldn't talk about her single mom adventures so much, as it would damage our marriage. Even told her that I didn't like Farty coming over, as she's bad news for us. She defended Farty a bit. Everyone deserves freedom. That was the first real red flag. Open relationship chats, not just talk. Farty pushed it hard. Said marriage traps you. Sarah listened too much. I saw her scroll forums late. Terms like ethical non-monogamy popped up. Our bed felt colder. Still, we managed. My job promoted me. Better pay, more hours. Sarah's admin role steadied. Alex did good in school, my boy, but she just had this fixation that seemed to eat at her. Books piled up. Farty's visits didn't increase at our home, but I noticed Sarah would go out more with Farty. Subtle shifts. She'd come home buzzing from girl talk. Empowerment, always that word. Also spending way more money for him here on out. I tried to pull her back. Planned a weekend away, just us. Babysitter lined up? She agreed, but canceled last minute. Work emergency, she said. Farty needed help. I swallowed it. Kept peace for Alex. But doubt grew. Her phone pinged more. Smiles at texts I didn't see. You know the cliches, but it's different when you're living it, with a kid to take care of. Then her job change hit. Switched departments, more hours. Sarah has way more energy during whatever she's doing. Closer to Farty's circle. That's when cracks widened. Texts got secretive. She angled her screen. I let it slide, for now. But something shifted and I felt it. I was being duped here. Our marriage, once rock solid and one that I took serious, felt like it was tilting. Alex's laughter kept me grounded. Grandparents noticed too. Why are you so distant? Hold him, he's supposed to be your hubby, her mom said once jokingly. I laughed awkwardly, brushed it off. Things stayed calm until that job change exposed everything. The real storm was coming. It was a Saturday morning. Farty stopped by our place. She said she was in the area, shopping. Wanted to drop off some work notes for Sarah. No big deal at first. Farty had come over a few times before. She always acted friendly, smiled at Alex, chatted with me. But I still got bad vibes from her. Her life was a mess. 2 divorces, kid with the ex. Sarah swore she kept it professional. Just work friends that hang out. I let it go, for peace. They sat in the kitchen, talked for about 20 minutes. Low voices, laughs now and then. Farty stood to leave. Sarah walked her to the car. They kept chatting outside. Alex and I watched cartoons in the living room. Her phone sat on the table. It pinged once. I ignored it. Pinged again. Still nothing. Then a third time. A gut feeling hit me. Maybe bad news. I picked it up. We shared passwords. No secrets, or so I thought. Unlocked it fast. Texts from Farty. But wait, the name showed twice. One from her real number, another from a different one, labeled Farty2. Odd codes. 29YY. Short, weird. I glanced out the window. Sarah and Farty still talked, not her sending these. My heart sped up. Something's off. I took pictures of the numbers quick, put the phone down. Sarah came back in, joined us on the couch, acted all normal and busy, kissed my cheek, and we watched some show after. 15 minutes passed. Another ping. Sarah grabbed it, smiled at the screen, and typed back faster than I ever saw her type. Her face lit up. Dreamy look? I'll never forget that look. She put it down, leaned into me. But I stared. She noticed. An awkward pause, and I wasn't going to be the one to break it. She then giggled, gave me a quick kiss. Sat between Alex and me. The rest of the day felt fine. Family time, lunch out, park with Alex. But Sarah looks like she's tweaking, as if she's drinking 20 espressos a day. But those texts stuck in my head. What was 29YY? Sunday night came. Sarah cleaned up after dinner. Alex in bed early. I took her phone again. Snooped deeper. More codes. All text with farty like this. 2-digit numbers, followed by 2 Ys or a Y and N. Dates maybe? Body parts? I couldn't crack it, but it screamed sneaky. No normal chat. This was hidden. My stomach turned. Trust cracked a bit more. I set it back, lay awake that night, stared at the ceiling. For Alex, I stayed calm. No rash moves. Monday hit. Work dragged. I called the mystery number from my office line. Private caller went to voicemail. It's a man's voice. This is Tony. Leave a message. Tony, Sarah's coworker, I met him once at a picnic. Quiet guy, basic profile online, never mentioned him much, but now it clicked. Affair? Codes for meetups? I dug more, searched his name and found his address. Basic stuff. No deep posts or anything too personal. The code broke down in my mind. Dates of the month, first number the day. 2 Ys meant yes to something. Her body, desirable spots. Second, Y or N for hookup after work, at his place. 29 with 2 Ys was clear for the 29th. Gross, my wife, coding cheats like a spy. Rage boiled inside, fists clenched at my desk. I punched and broke the iPad standard, but Alex's face flashed. His smile, hugs. I breathed deep, held it in. No blow up yet. Needed facts, needed to be steady here. That week built tension. Sarah came home later, said work piled up. Smelled fresh, like soap from a rituals gift collection that we didn't have at home. Hugs felt off, like hugging my cousin. I played normal, dinners, bedtime stories for Alex. But doubt was gone, and the certainty grew. Her phone guarded more now, angled away and trying to keep her smiles in at pings. I could see her trying to keep the joy in, but I know her. I watched close. Inner storm raged, and I wanted to explode. Wanted to scream, to pick up the table and go gorilla. Why? Our life was good. But this boredom won? Farty's poison? Am I really that vanilla? Not enough? I can reflect on myself, and I know I'm a good man. Not perfect, but I'm here, trying to be the best husband and dad I can be. I then thought of Farty again. I pictured them laughing, planning. Oh, it hurt deep. The 29th came. I left work early, parked near her office, waited in my car. Heart pounded. She pulled out. I followed far back. Traffic helped. Lost her once. But I knew Tony's street. Residential, quiet. Drove by his house. No sign of her car. Turned around. Headed home. She wasn't there. Called my mom. Dad had Alex fishing. All good. But instinct pulled me back. I drove to Tony's again. Slow pass. Garage shut. Nothing fishy. Then, as I turned, her car backed out. Garage door closed fast. It was her clear as day. She sped off. I pulled over, boiled inside. Could have followed, yelled. But no, for Alex. I went home, beat her there. When she arrived with Alex, I said I got off early, wanted family time. She smiled and kissed me, but I turned a bit to touch cheeks only. Fresh scent again, nice shower. Cheerful dinner followed, and Alex laughed. But I couldn't really. I stayed silent. I wanted to do things I can't say here. That day, that moment, my life changed. It made me more aware of how some people can be pushed to a dark edge and how they choose to go total berserk and evil. Thinking back, I'm grateful I didn't let my anger get the best of me. That night, her phone pinged. I checked after she slept. 31 2 Ys. Thumbs up. Next hookup. Enough. Rage peaked for sure now. But control held once again. Alex needed me steady. No jail time over this. Inner turmoil tore me and the nights became unhealthy short. Work blurred and couldn't stay focused. Pictured her there, with him, our bed, our son, betrayed. Hate built for her choices, for Farty's role. But proof first, solid hits. I planned the tale, told my dad bits, told Dwight some more. Dad nodded, worried. Stay smart, I'm here for you, son. Dwight told me to ask him for help when I needed it, but was mostly emotional when I told him. Alex's sake drove me, so I didn't stop taking care of myself. Stable home shattered. Her lack of self-respect and character ruined everything. I promised I would be there for her, my wife, through the good and the bad times. Now look what she made me into. Dirty liar. A shameful liar typing down his pity story of how his wife cheated and how I didn't act on the signs. A spineless man that let a stinking parasite get a hold on his family. Now I lied in front of everyone we loved. God, I even teared up during my vows while she kept my arms steady. Can't make this up. I'm trying to stay factual and on topic for you guys, but it's hard. Only people who experience this can truly understand. Well, sorry for the rant. So Sarah's codes proved to be lies. Quick visits here and there confirmed more dirt on her. Turmoil raged more and more, but I channeled it. I really had no weak moves, but I must admit, it was because of the hatred. This was war starting. Needed more proof. Dove deeper into her secret world. That secret world pulled me in like a black hole. I couldn't stop now. Proof stacked up from the texts and tales. But I needed the full picture. Why was Sarah doing this? What turned our marriage into a joke? Late one night, Alex asleep, Sarah out, with friends. I grabbed her laptop. Password was our anniversary. Easy, emails first, hundreds unread. I scrolled back, months. Invites jumped out. Empowerment seminar, embrace your true potential. Sender, lovely collective. Sounded like a scam, some cheap phishing attempt from a Nigerian prince mixed with Scientology nonsense. Hence the name I gave it, Cheatology. But Sarah replied to every single one. RSVP, yes. Dates matched her late nights. One email detailed rules, not even hiding what it was. Group swinging mandatory at events. Partners rotated like a game. Consent forms, NDAs. Fees, $200 a session. Invest in your liberation, it said. My gut twisted. This wasn't fun. It was a trap. Deeper in, the leader's name popped. Dr. Elias Grant, self-help guru with a twist. His manifesto attached. Preached ethical non-monogamy as the path to freedom. Said monogamy chained souls, creating all modern problems. And he knew the fix. Cheating? Not betrayal? Growth? Events in rented halls. Retreats in cabins. What the fuck? Imagine the smell? Photos showed circles of adults, half-dressed, standing in a circle while looking like chanting some affirmations. Share to heal. Absurd. Fees funded his coaching, private sessions extra, like an Instagram model selling ebooks with special offers. You gotta be kidding me. Sarah paid 3 times. Bank statements confirmed. Also sending lots of money to Farty, transactions labeled Snow. I found her notes next. Hidden folder. My journey. Journal entries. Typed raw. First one. Farty invited me. Told me to bring my swimsuit. Said this group changed her. The love and trust in meeting these new people was out of this world. Alex and home are her love, but feel small. Then the love grew. Met Tony at intro night, buzzed with happy feels, rotating partners like a club, fair, exciting. That sentence is a literal copy-paste. Process that as you wish. She described hookups. Details made me sick. Felt alive and more aware of my inner self. Just power. How can I feel guilt for love? Factual notes like membership perks and to-do lists. VIP access to certain bodies? Never heard of anything like this. Our vows? Don't let me rant again, just dust. Rage hit hard and I was ready to pummel, but I kept digging, joined their forum. Fake name, easy profile. Curious husband seeking truth. Posts flooded in. Members, divorced pros, midlife crises, lawyers, teachers, execs, all justified cheating as therapy. My wife doesn't get me. Here, I thrive. I see them for who they really are, weak-minded perverts. Threads on rules, no jealousy allowed. Share stories, swap partners, leader moderated, banned doubters. One post, non-mono healed my depression. Fees worth it. Bull, it was a con. Sucked in the lost, spit out wrecks. Sarah's thread caught my eye. Newbie reflections, she posted weeks ago. Recruited by Farty. She saw my potential. First retreat. Tony and I connected deep. Group's energy, electric. Comments praised her. Welcome, sister. Rotate freely. Farty replied, Knew you'd fit. Open marriage next? Sarah, husband heart is closed. This is my secret growth until I can help him. She's talking about helping me? Blind? Me? I built our life. She tore it. She wrecked everything. Flashback in her emails. Farty's pitch. Join us for ethical fun. Tony needs fresh energy. I'm switching partners. Sarah bit. First hookup at retreat, cabin in woods, group circle, then pairs. She journaled the thrill. Bodies everywhere. Games and no shame. Tony first, intense, then more. Rotations weekly, codes and texts, meet-up signals for events. 2 Ys meant yes to play. Our home became her cover. I pictured it. Sarah slipping out, kissing Alex goodnight, driving to that filth, that rotten place of perverts, laughing with sick-minded strangers. Leader droning on. Liberation through sharing. Fees lined his pockets. Divorced members bragged, but replies hid pain. Lost my job. Spouse found out. Kids hate the drama. Yet they stayed, brainwashed. They must be sick. Weak-minded Sarah, my Sarah, did too. Her notes grew bold and more aimed towards me. He holds me back and the collective frees me. How can that be a bad thing? Hate surged for her lies, for her stupidity, for dragging our son near this poison. Online, I messaged members. Low-key. New to non-mono tips? I noticed that the married people were in higher demand than the singles. Replies poured. One from a doc. It's therapy. Sharing love saves marriages. Another self-proclaimed ex-soldier. Rules keep it safe, just have to jump in and trust it. But cracks showed. Private chat with a dropout. It's a cult. Fees trap you, affairs destroy lives. He shared documents. Grants passed. Failed clinics, lawsuits, shady seminars before this. Unpaid taxes maybe. Sarah ignored all warnings, as I saw through Google that these were easy to find too. She dove headfirst. Her involvement deepened. Emails showed recruiting. She invited coworkers. Empowerment night. Come see. Farty mentored her. Push open talks and bring fresh blood. First retreat, 2 months back. Tony hosted side sessions. Swinging rules strict. No exclusives. Rotate or leave. Sarah thrived, I guess. Journal. Felt desired and released my inner that I didn't know. Didn't know. I slaved for us. Tech job climbed. Paid bills. Her admin shifts? Easy peasy, but she chased the highs that only a tongue of a nasty stranger could give her. Absurdity hit peak. One seminar invite, poly party, dress as your wildest self for max growth. Theme nights, costumes, role play, leaders promotional video linked, slick suit with a calm, cheaply edited voice. Monogamy's the real cage, join to break free. Nice pitch, dude. Fees consist of a $500 retreat. Sarah booked 2. Our savings? Yes, tapped. I checked accounts. Drains matched dates. She took some funds out of her personal investing account too. Anger boiled to fury. This collective, predators in self-help clothes, preyed on boredom, turned wives like Sarah into street-worthy cheats. Stakes hit home. Alex near this? No, her choices risked him. Exposure to drugs, drama, and disease. Tony's felon past was one Google search away. How convenient when a group's mantra is, past doesn't define liberation. You gotta be kidding me. Lies and twisted logic everywhere. If I didn't believe in heaven and hell, I sure started to right then. My once dear wife, now a whore for a cult. Sarah chose this over us? I couldn't hate her more. For her betrayal, their filth, no mercy now. That night, laptop shut. I obsessed, but can you blame me? My plan was now formed. Legal hits first, then their wallets. Cold social ruin, dismantle it all. She wasn't the only one that was going to feel my pain. All of them would. The 31st arrived. I couldn't wait anymore. Those texts, emails, journal entries, they painted a clear picture. Sarah was deep in this mess. Alex deserved better. I deserved better. It was time to end the charade. I started the day with a strong breakfast and made sure the storm was ready. I left work early again, heart racing, hands steady on the wheel. Met up with my friend Dwight, who was brought up to speed on her cheating some days before, but I only told him the basics. He's trustworthy, but can't risk pillow talk with his wife about the monkey cult, as this isn't your regular cheater. You know, this is the stuff you can't make up. This is straight from hell. So no full cult details yet, just the affair. But I needed him there to protect me and my interests. Also, be my witness. Keep me from doing something stupid. I didn't really know this woman, nor do I know what more might be lurking when I confront her. I met with Dwight at his garage. He stood there with some sandwiches, wanted to make sure I ate some, and chugged down some coffee together. "We're going to get one chance. I'm with you, buddy. We're in this together," he said. I appreciated the gesture. I saw him staring at me awkwardly, hurting for me, but he didn't know how deep this actually went. I'll tell him later. Dwight got 2 cars ready, rentals, so Sarah wouldn't notice. This is it. We went over the plan once more and checked our Bluetooth earpiece connection. All set, this is it. Little sidestep. I won't really go into how I told him and what his reaction was. Let's just say that it was anticlimactic and mostly emotional, which is also why I can't confide him everything so soon, as Dwight couldn't handle that in the short term. He didn't hesitate to help me, and that's what I needed right then. I made sure my son, Alex, was at my parents' place and stayed there for the night. Me and Dwight went to Sarah's office parking lot, parked out of sight, and waited. She took longer than normal. She pulled out right on time. Same route as before. We followed at a distance, my knuckles white on the dash. Dwight quiet in my earpiece, but only gave tactical cues while we were tailing. She turned into Tony's neighborhood. Garage opened, Tony walked out, her car slipped in. He stood outside looking at her car while he pushed the button for the door to shut and went in. Gone. We parked down the street next to each other, gave it 10 minutes, initiate the plan, send her texts. "Where are you? I need you right now." No reply. Dwight nodded. "Let's go." We walked up, Ring doorbell stared back with a robotic voice. "Hello, can I help you?" I rang it again, knocked louder on the glass part of the door, yelled into the camera. "Tony, I know Sarah's in there. Open up, now." Nothing. Dwight tapped my shoulder, told me, "I'll block the drive." Smoke him out. He moved his car right in front. No escape. I walked over to the side of the car where I saw the face of the neighbor over the fence, looking at us. "You're from the police? About time you guys go into that crack hole. All they do is make corn and do drugs in there." We ignored the man. I was amped up with adrenaline, so I didn't give it any attention. Locked eyes with Dwight, saw he was shook by that statement, but still steady, like he was realizing that we were up against foul people. I sat on the hood of the car. The man said he would watch the back from his yard. Can't blame him, can use the help, so let him be and do his thing. Dwight was standing on the road in front of the house for a broader view of the house and windows. I kept calling her. Voicemail after voicemail. Then I dialed her parents. "You need to come to this address right now," they gasped. Questions flew about their daughter's well-being and safety. "Just get here." Shame hit me. They'd see their daughter for what she was, but Sarah did this herself. Minutes dragged. Sweat came up despite the cool air. Dwight patted my shoulder. "Breathe for Alex?" I nodded, told him I'm good. Inside, I pictured her, laughing with him, playing hide-and-seek while jumping each other. Well, the game's end now. Today, she'll eat the shit sandwich she made. Then her parents' car pulled up, faces pale, and we hugged quick. Her mom whispered, "What happened?" I pointed at the house. "She's cheating with him." Silence followed, and I felt a relief. Her mom didn't seem to be able to accept it, but we stood there together. Her father slamming the door, followed by kicking. More ringing. No answers. 10 minutes later, her mom wanted to call the police, but her dad stopped her. Then, 15 minutes later, it started to go down. Out of nowhere. I kid you not, 'cause you can't make this up. Another car approached, Small Volkswagen Beetle Cabrio, driving like a maniac, blasting the song 1,000 miles. Parked the small car sideways behind ours, frowned at us. Jumped out of the car. This guy is huge, I mean roided up huge, sweating, wearing a white tank top with a seemingly expensive pants with flip-flops, holding an oversized red plastic drink cup. We looked at him, he looked at us, didn't say anything. Looked like he was sizing us up, clearly hyper-caffeinated. Sarah's mom grabbed the arm of Sarah's dad. This guy kept frowning and drinking his cup, walked past us, toward Tony's front door. With him followed a thick chemical smell of a pre-workout. I know the smell of cheap, sweet, chemically enhanced pre-workout when I smell it. This guy turns the doorknob, it's locked. He again looks at us annoyed, asks us if we are his surprise. Surprise? I said we're here for Tony. He said he was too. He then gets on his knees, opens the letterbox with his fingers, and screams out Tony's name through it. No answer, he yelled again. Ignored. He then stands up, looks at the windows of the first floor, yells, "You're gonna do me like this again, Tony?" "I got you, boy. I got you." He then starts repeatedly kicking in the front door, full force, breaking the glass and won the locks on the door. Not fully, as the upper lock was still connected to the doorframe, but the door slid inward, if that makes any sense. He's too big, can't enter, but isn't trying either. Just keeps yelling for Tony. Then we hear a man's voice coming from behind the garage door. I couldn't make out what it said. But then the door of the garage opened up. There he is, partially visible, at least Tony's legs and hips, in different clothes than we saw him before, his car becoming visible. Garage door opens further. We can see his upper body almost. Sarah's car sat next to his. Sarah's parents taking steps back, standing by the road, away from the house, but they're witnessing everything. Then Tony ducks under the garage door, stomps out, but when he comes out, he grabs a wooden pole from behind the moving garage door, then walks towards us while holding his hands up, yelling for us to back off. I walk towards Tony with my fists clenched, ready to engage, as I'm not going to get beaten up there. But then this guy grunts heavily and ran towards Tony. Just grabbed him and took away his wooden stick and threw it at Tony's car, denting it. Tony steps back, clearly afraid, and immediately pleads with the guy, saying he didn't know, repeatedly. This all happening was surreal. Thinking back, I still can't fully grasp why it went like it did. Neither can Dwight. But while Tony was pleading with this man, the princess came out. Sarah walked into the garage, simply walking out of the house, eyes tweaking lightly, smoothing her hair with a brush, fully clothed, but guilty as sin. Her makeup smudged, as if she had been wrestling or something. Nose all white, covered in chalk or something. Walked out towards the front lawn and greeted me and Dwight. Looked past the guy standing over a curled-up Tony, laying on the floor, as if everything was normal. This guy yelling at Tony that he didn't pay him for his funny business. Tony saying that he wasn't playing, and that she was ready for him, pointing at Sarah. Sarah froze, playing the victim. Her parents gasped. This man then looks at me, asks me why I'm there. I yell that she's my wife, that my wife cheats on me with that dirtbag. Tony. Sarah jumps between us, tried the act. Honey, it's not, I cut her of. Tell her to save it for her parents, that I already know it all. Everything. I only locked eyes with her when I said everything. I wanted her to know. She messed up royally. Then it all went fast. Too fast. Sarah's mom ran at her and grabbed her arm. Sarah screaming it wasn't what it looked like, saying she needed to grab something from a cooler. We didn't know why yet. This guy starts yelling at Tony, asking why she's married. Tony curls up on the floor again, like he knew what was coming. Then Sarah's mom took Sarah to their car, her dad eagerly searching his pants for the car keys. Dwight stood next to me, then this guy starts pressing Tony down. Not punching him, just pressing him to the floor with his hands while pressing his own bald on Tony's chest. Yes, exactly like I'm saying. Dwight told me that people were watching us. I looked to the street and saw people walking up, some filming, some calling on the phone. I walked towards Tony, and the man in the moment, I still wanted to hurt him too. I didn't get the chance. I don't know. Looking back, I'm glad Dwight held me back. Tony grabs the man by his head, curling his arms around his neck. Booyah! The giant goes nuts. The man starts screeching. I don't know how else to put this, but really screech-crying like a gargoyle from the cartoons. He stands up, coming loose from Tony's weak attempt to lock him, drags Tony for about 10 feet by his ankle towards the garage, then lets go of him. Picks up some metal-looking pipe or bat and starts going ballistic on Tony and Sarah's car. Blows landed hard, metal swung, mirror shattered, wiper snapped. Door dented deep, scratches everywhere. He yells, "Where is it?" Tony pleading for him to stop while laying on the floor. The man walks towards Tony, then Tony yells something about an old cooler. The man walks into the garage, kicks a toolbox aside, and looks into a shelving unit, grabs a bag containing white powder out of it, clearly visible for all to see. 10 seconds later, I hear Sarah's dad call for me, then car doors shut and a car driving off. It's Sarah with her parents fleeing the scene. I hear the same neighbor yelling that he's calling the cops on us, clearly realizing we aren't cops. Dwight telling me to get in the passenger seat of his car, I do. Before Dwight gets in, he shouts at bystanders to keep filming for the cops, gets in the car, and we drove off, driving violently over the lawn and flower beds. Dwight tells me he will pick up the other car another time, that for now we're going to stick together. I said we're now finished yet? Dwight said he knows. Asked Dwight to drive past the other car nonetheless, so I can grab the bag with documentation I needed, proof of the affair. We did so, then got back in the car and drove. I called Sarah's dad. He picked up, telling us they're driving to their place and that he needed us to come too. Told him we're on our way already. He told me he's sorry, but I cut him off, telling him I would explain it all. I could hear Sarah in the background crying like a victim. We came up at their house, seeing her dad's car parked on their driveway, left back door still open. We go in, parents ask me and Dwight if we're doing all right. Sarah ran towards me, tries to hug me. I reject her, and she tries to force it by trying again and crying louder. Thank God for Dwight. He then puts himself between us. Her dad tells her and her mom to shut it, so I can talk. I went to the car to grab the documents and came back in. There it laid them on the table, 4 neatly organized binders containing colorized and destructive copies of her texts, the codes, the visits with pictures. Sarah looking at the documents. Her eyes widened. Why 4, you ask? Couldn't leave Dwight too much in the dark, as there were more facts he didn't know about just yet. Sarah first didn't grab one, but when her dad grabbed his, she immediately grabbed hers. Sarah opened the first page, reading the table of contents, then threw the binder at the wall and went hysterical and ran towards the backyard, her mom following her. Her dad is taking it in, visible shaking. His automatic watch's battery surely recharging fully. Not trying to be funny here, it's sad. It's tragic, but he needed to see this. Never saw the man cry before, not even when ill grandma was there to witness the wedding of his daughter and me. But this, his daughter. Dwight mostly read but kept silent, looking around and periodically looking outside and into the backyard. Couldn't have done this without Dwight. Sarah's mom walks in, looks at her husband, and she knows immediately. It's bad. Starts crying, her cries filling the home, initiating new screams coming from Sarah in the backyard. I didn't know the woman, but let me tell you, she can act. But now, no wiggle room to squeal out like a rat. Her mom aggressively grabs a copy from the table, walks towards the backyard, and unleashes a hell fury on Sarah. Her mom shouting, Sarah squealing and trying to explain. I didn't join them. Told her dad that I was going away for some time, that Alex is at my parents', that they are free to see Alex, but to be cautious. Her dad asked, how so? I told him to look up Chapter 5 in the document, proof I had that Sarah used drugs. I told them I would share it with the police and I would appreciate it if they'd look into it and take care of her. Her dad nodded, told me he was sorry. I hugged him, left 3 binders, walked out the house with Dwight. Heard the back gate open, looked and saw Sarah running towards me. She wailed, please, mistake. For Alex, that name fueled me. Her poison near him? Ugh, never. You risked him. Now it's gone. Her parents followed her outside, faces all twisted with anger, sorrow, and shame. Sarah saying that I'm the one doing this to our family. The audacity on this woman. I told her, "You're done? You're out. Don't touch me. You're a whore and a junkie." Her dad, holding her, nodded slowly, saying, "We'll handle her." I looked at Sarah. "We're over." "Get a lawyer," she wailed, and her pleas echoed as we left. Dwight drove me home. The silence was heavy. My heart pounded still, nearly puked from the rush. But seeing her face, crushed, all lies exposed. Innocent act failed. The evidence, her car, there, the drugs, everything nailed her. Dwight brought me home, told me to call him as there was anything he could do, told him I couldn't thank him enough. We talked about notifying the cops too, but we'll do that another day. That night, alone in our bed, her side empty. I wasn't done. She must know there's more coming, and I wanted her to boil in the unknown, know that I know, feel the pressure of her surrounding, judging her for what she did. While she knows there's more, that this is just the first wave, which is already crushing her. Nowhere in the evidence did I mention anything about her cheatology cult. The nuke I kept to my chest for now. Plotted some more in my thoughts, went over what happened. Getting my statement ready if there would be cops showing up at the door after the ordeal at Tony's crack house. Building the divorce first, sidesteps during building the case. Full nuclear revenge. Hit the cheatology collective cult. Their lives too. No mercy for the cult that stole her innocence from me and our kid. That night, after the confrontation, I barely slept. Sarah's side of the bed felt like a void. Her clothes still hung in the closet, mocking me. Alex was safe at my parents', but my mind raced. The affair was out. Tony and his random friend might be hauled by the cops by now, whatever. Thought a lot about that random guy, the weirdo that might have helped me and Dwight in the end. Didn't talk about it with Dwight in the ride back home, but we knew what he was going to do there. This man, roided up with full pre-workout intake, all pumped up and ready to pump something else than the weights of the gym. His present, can't make this up, he paid Tony. For what? Sarah was in, willing. I can't go over it too much now, but it's making me go insane. I keep refocusing cause I need brain power to complete my revenge. For my boy, my innocent boy. Little sidestep here. After my story here is done, I want you to know that this part, if why I'm keeping it anonymous, why I'm only sharing this story with YouTuber Royal A.I. under the agreement to stay anonymous. Fully. The shame is too much for me to bear publicly on the internet. One Google search and you've got me, and even worse, online people can find my boy, like we're some circus. Sorry for the rant. Back to it. It wasn't over yet. Sarah's tears, her mistake pleas, they meant nothing. The cheaters' cult had twisted her, turned our marriage into their playground. I needed to protect Alex and make them pay. Legal first, hit her where it hurt. Our life, our son, her freedom. No half measures. Didn't sleep much, drove to my parents to see Alex and to drop him off at preschool. That little face is the opposite of everything bad happening to me lately. Kissed his small, beautiful head. Love you, buddy? He grinned, clueless. Back home, I searched lawyers, top ones in town, called 3, met the best by noon. Miss Harlan, sharp suit, no nonsense, 50-ish, divorced herself. Tell me everything, she said over coffee in her office. I spilled it. College romance, stability, and investments. Alex's birth. Then the cliche of her boredom. Farty. Nothing seemed to be new to her. Guess she had seen it all. Then I showed her the codes. Then her link with the cult of cheaters. The community of cheatology and her comments and remarks. Confessions now. That's where she stopped making notes and looked at me, as if I had two heads. Her brows twisted and she just listened, like she couldn't believe me or didn't want to. The silence gave me the opportunity to tell her more about the details, the drugs. But that's where she stopped me. telling me she's going to need every hand to help on this case, that she'll get me whatever I need. Everything aside, this case is bigger than drug use, cheating, and divorce. Ethical non-monogamy? Sounds like a scam, she muttered. I nodded, showed her the binder, version 2, including everything on the cult. Her eyes hardened. Our state still weighs infidelity heavy. No fault on paper, but judges care. This, gold, but the publicity is dangerous. She took the case. Flat fee up front. I paid from our joint account, last time. Filed divorce that afternoon. Petition cited adultery. Direct. Respondent engaged in extramarital affairs, endangering family. Harlan explained. Proves fault, blocks any chance of alimony. It's useful as custody leverage, too. Sarah served next day? No, oh no. We planned smart. It needs to embarrass her. There were other things that happened first, also procedural delays. It actually took 3.5 months before she got served, and it was epic. But first, the evidence dump. I handed over my phone, USB sticks, copied texts, photos from the tail, her car at Tony's. Time-stamped, Harlan's team digitized it all. Of course, I gave her binder 1 and binder 2, together Sarah's kryptonite. Ironclad, she said. I told her about Dwight. She wanted to speak to him. So I took Dwight and his wife out to a casual dinner. I'll get straight to the point. Gave them binder 1. His wife knew some of it. She cried. Dwight cried. We ate some food, told them there's more, but after dessert, and I could share it with them at their place. We went to the house of Dwight's parents for privacy, though, as they were babysitting their kids. There is where I showed them the second binder. Dwight's wife cried again, saying my name over and over again, asking why I didn't tell them. Dwight's silent, visibly angry and disgusted, saying things I can't write here, but I agreed to all he said, asking them to keep quiet, as I'm going to use everything on Sarah. I trust Dwight's wife. She's always been more on my side. Asked Dwight to join me to meet up with my lawyer, Harlan, to go over the case, mostly because he witnessed everything at Tony's place too. Dwight agreed. I then took the binders with me, only leaving a copy of binder number 1 with them. 2 days later, we met up with Harlan to talk about the case. Apparently, the cops arrived and took in both Tony and the bodybuilder. Tony didn't press charges, but the cops didn't need it. Drug bust filled the newspaper, and the cops were busy with their investigation. Harlan advised us to go to the police and tell our side independently, just to be honest. She already made appointments with the detective. Harlan emphasized it will help my case for full custody. For the crowd judging me, go ahead and know I don't give a flying rat's about what you think. Gloves going of, Sarah isn't fit to take care of our son, and if you think I'm being irrational, please don't ever get kids or marry someone. I'm lucky Dwight was with me all the way. So we did share everything with them, even info on my case. Harlan stood by me during my statement, also with Dwight's statement. I was alone at home, looking at my phone, spammed by Sarah telling me she's paid enough and learned her lesson, followed by sending me indirect hints, pointing at hurting herself, telling me I'm the one. Manipulation, and she won't actually do anything stupid. I could tell by the nuanced and indirect way she was threatening me. Nonetheless, I played the worried adult, called emergency service, and called her parents, sharing the proof of my worries. She stopped sending me these sort of threats after that. Her parents gave me daily updates on their situation, my parents updating me on Alex. Yet, looking at my phone, I nowhere saw anything that I had received from that one special person, that one special woman I never forgot about, and whom is crucial in my plan. Miss Fart Pants? Oh, sweet fatty farty. I called her that evening. She picked up shaky. Long time, I said. She didn't answer, she knows. I enjoyed her childish silence, finally shutting up for once. Then I said, Cops took Tony with that powder of yours, which gave him a felony record, you know. Jail's hard these days. There's the coward she truly is, full out stating it wasn't her drugs, he's a dealer, Sarah's the one that pushed it on her, they're only acquaintances from some talk group, and she's not connected in any way. I listened, being the patient, loving man. Then I told her about the payments from Sarah to her bank account, multiple transactions labeled with the term snow just to refresh her memory. Bank statement going for months, indicating her involvement with selling narcotics to Sarah. Told her that I'm no investigator, but snow isn't that expensive, and it wasn't snowing anywhere near us all year round. So I might share it with the police, the good worried Samaritan I am. Farty changed her tune, isn't my friend, but surely behaves like my pet bunny now. Recorded the whole conversation, Farty asking me what I wanted, so I told her to be honest and tell me everything, to meet up for details. Farty agreed to meet up with us, my lawyer present. Long story short, Farty agreed to meet up at a dinner, signed affidavit. Testifies on my behalf, trusting we won't share certain details with the police, off the record. She knows she can trust me, the good man I've always been to her. Farty spills about the trips to Tony, some other names I've never heard of. Spills about the drug use at parties, then how she bought it for Sarah. Spins it in a way that she had to do it for a friend, trying to save herself. That, of course, Farty isn't selling anything herself. We don't care to confront her now. We let her tell us everything. The lies, the things that happened at parties they went to, what they did, and she didn't defend her toxic lies one bit. She ratted everyone, told us things that wasn't even interesting for our case, but Harlan notarized everything. After our meetup with Farty, Harlan reviewed and compiled everything we needed. Witness perfection. Ties her to danger and everything, but here's why I love Harlan. She also compiled the evidence against Farty. She told me everything we can't use has to go to the police for their investigations. Names, links, dates, and ways they did certain activities, all notarized and recorded. I felt I regained power. Their loss, it made me feel my thirst for their pain grew. I know I sound evil, but that's the truth. As time went on, more evidence was gathered. Apparently, Sarah was busted at her parents' house, using in her childhood bedroom. Yes, you've heard me right. We pushed hard for full custody. Harlan built the case. Infidelity alone hurts her claim, but knowingly joining a group that sells the idea of cheating like a cult, exposure to narcotics via Tony, or even at her parents' house, brutally lethal. Think about this. Seminars as hookups, digital campaigns on special parties, with proof they used narcotics and did filthy things to liberate each other, fully and knowingly cheating and exposing us to danger. The Cheatology Collective clearly looking like a cult, with their leader receiving fattening fees from memberships while blurring nonsense, in the end enticing members to join illegal activities. My lawyer got more excited, telling me that judges never like cheaters nor cults, and none dares to burn their finger defending these lowlives. So, we're going to win big. We took the time, and I was obsessively involved to build the case. We highlighted risks: Alex around swingers, potential STDs, drama fights, people using steroids, Tony's felon past, battery at 22, now drugs. She chose that world, I said, voice cracked. Harlan nodded. We'll paint it. Unfit mother in any way imaginable. Filed motion same week, emergency hearing set. Once Sarah knew through her lawyer, Sarah's parents called me twice. Begged for mercy, that Sarah's sorry and it'll never fix anything. I hung up. I love them. I get where they are coming from. But if they want to see their grandkid, they're going to have to trust me. If they're going against me, I'm willing to burn the entire world to win this. Sorry didn't fix betrayal. Restraining order next. Harlan drafted fast. Protects you, the home, Alex. Cited harassment fears. Her pleas post-confrontation. Voicemails, texts. Come back. For us, she's unstable and not showing any steps to recognize her drug problem, nor taking steps to be willing to go to rehab. She blatantly threatened to hurt herself, so she's not only a danger to others, but herself too. All in all, never can they blame me for the bloodthirsty, cold-hearted man I became. Check the proof. I'm the good Samaritan, the sad, betrayed spouse with stability in all of this. I'm the one who lost everything and now has to bear the care of my child alone, a man burdened by the worries that his unstable ex is going after him. There we go. Judge granted me control, Sarah, barred her from our home. No contact without supervision. Alex? Limited to grandparents' visits. No solos, not in 1,000 years. Keeps her at bay, Harlan said. The actual preparations for the divorce took longer, but Harlan got everything ready to file. We waited with serving her officially. Met with her parents when they were alone at home, told them to help her get ready for a divorce, as I'm planning to proceed with divorcing due to her affair and drug problems. I found it fitting to do so in the house she grew up, while she wasn't there. That night she called, and I picked up. She was sobbing, ranting about how I could be this cruel. Kept going on about what we've built. Yes, it triggered me, but I just kept silent and listened until I had enough schadenfreude after around 12 minutes. I blocked her on everything after that. Ghosted clean, no words wasted on her anymore. Her world shrank, mine locked down, cops enforced if needed. Peace settled. Alex asked for Mommy, and it broke me every single time. She's busy, I lied, hugging him tight. Bless my parents for helping me with Alex. Court prep ramped up, Harlan's paralegal dug deep. Drug tests for Sarah, mandatory. Prove she's clean. I'm anticipating Sarah's weaker than ever, still looking for cheap so-called love in the same twisted arms of the cult members, not a backbone in her body, refusing to participate and using narcotics. I hope she goes deeper. I pray for her to go rock bottom and stay there. More proof for me, increasingly tightening the grip of my nuclear revenge on the pity life she has left. Sorry, went a bit off the rails there. So of course, the tests were ordered via petition, and she complied. First couple of tests were negative. Doesn't matter, at least the profiteers, like Tony and Farty, stopped making money from her. So I still see it as a win. We subpoenaed Tony's record, felony confirmed. Collective background was a goldmine. The shared forum logs were invaluable. Leader Elias Grant had a shady past. Failed self-help gigs, lawsuits for false promises to people battling life-threatening illnesses. Promised healing, delivered heartbreak. Unpaid taxes on seminars, Harlan's investigator traced. He clearly asked for certain payments to be in cash because his words on a site promotion, "We should scratch each other's back anywhere we can." He's a con. Preaches non-monogamy to mask exclusive adult parties with narcotics. Plausible cover. Elevated by rules. Mandatory shares. NDAs. Members justified it with therapy through cheating. But dropouts sued him already. The emotional and financial damage is clearly there. We just compiled dossiers. Harassment tactics, Harlan noted. Recruitment as pressure, with Sarah having a role? This was new to me. Sarah didn't drown in sorrow, you see. Sarah was still active on the site, clearly advocating the ways of her honorable people. Don't know how to say it any other way. She's a pusher? Pleasant replies inviting insecure people new to their forum, site, whatever. Join the freedom you deserve. In the meantime, Harlan trained me intensely with role-playing for court. She played Sarah, crying and throwing victim card curveballs to which I would stay calm and respond with the facts and evidence-based. Any emotion I could show is the pain of a betrayed husband, a man tired and defeated by the monstrous affair she had with over a dozen men. Only trouble I had was memorizing the timelines of it all. Harlan warned me to stop confusing some dates, but at least if I did stutter timelines, I would fall back on said emotional pain I endured and try to correct myself. In the months that followed, the final custody, primary for me, was to be achieved first. At this time, I had been given custody short-term, given the situation we were in. But it wasn't done if Sarah had time spamming forums. I expected she would also be spending time with her lawyer fighting the case. The finances were frozen, joint accounts locked, my earnings safe and only accessible to me, her access cut totally. At this point, the no spousal support seemed open for discussion to Sarah's lawyer. Sarah's job? Not yet. Legal hits first. We met with her lawyer to show we're open for mediation. Didn't wear the wedding ring. Won't go too deep into that. She was present, looked wrecked, skinny, pale, eyes red. She addressed me directly, asking me, "Please talk. We don't need to go on." I stared, but didn't speak unless questions were asked by the lawyers. Her lawyer shared all his colorful ideas and deals to appease Sarah's will. Then it was our turn. Simple. Harlan spoke. "We don't agree. Plans to divorce proceeds." We walked out, hearing Sarah get mad at her lawyer, asking if we could actually do that. Her lawyer saying something about us being legally married still. I didn't really get that part. Outside, I saw her parents from a distance, and they came rushing towards me. I told them to trust me, and they'll see Alex, and to take care of their daughter for now. They weren't pleased, but they're either with me now or against me. Sarah's choices boomeranged her now, and she could sit in the filth she created. Her parents are suffering because of her, not because of me. But it's going to be worse for them when they'll find out about everything she's done, and is still doing on their home Wi-Fi. With the custody push rolling and in process, with Sarah ghosted and barred, I still had work to do, and my anger was still burned hot. That cult didn't just steal my wife, they fed on our stability, my money. Their big fees paid for with my unwilling money, supposed to be for my family, Alex's future. No way they'd walk free, and Harlan agreed. I know what you're going to say. Every lawyer would agree and be willing to make more money. But I saw Harlan got passionate ever since I played all the details of Sarah's cheating on the table. She was with me, and I didn't care much for extra costs within reason. Harlan had gotten another lawyer on retainer to help me fight that part with her. From now on, for simplicity's sake, I'll just talk about Harlan as my lawyer, as paralegals and other lawyers on retainer aren't important enough to emphasize from here on out. As the law protects me, I got to squeeze their cash and attack them where it hurts first. Fault divorce meant leverage. The joint assets were mine to shield. I wanted more, though. Hit Tony, the leader, the whole cult. We could and would hit their wallets first, then watch them scramble like the pariahs they are. So when our joint accounts were locked, within the case for the divorce, we also filed motion against the company of the cult, the official LLC behind it. I won't mention the real names here, nor anywhere in this post, though. Sarah's checks would bounce, and I got a notification regarding it. As luck would have it, Sarah just moved into a rental, increasing her expenses. Her lawyer asked for a new meeting. We didn't meet up, as we had discussed everything necessary. Her parents called me, telling me they understand, but asking me if I could give her some breathing room. At this point, she still had her job, so I kindly reminded them that she's a strong, independent woman and can take care of herself. I knew everything joint, investing account, her checking and credit line were blocked. But common, you can't tell me such a strong woman can't figure it out with her own boss. I mean, steady pay can go to a new account. We didn't block her from rerouting her steady pay, but I didn't tell her parents much, as she could figure it out herself. New rental got me thinking, but I let go of it fast. Her choices drained us all already. My money funded her highs, now cut off and desperate. I got a notification from our bank, as we were still legally married, in which Sarah applied for a hefty loan. I rejected it, not with my name on it. I imagine her parents helped her from then on out. Impact hit fast, as her parents texted me she needed gas for her car, groceries were skipped, and I would reply with a sad emoji. The visits with Alex started, and Sarah's parents were present, still supervised on my dime for now. This helped Alex, but he missed his mom a lot. This hurt me, as I know that I'm in control now, but there's no other way for now. Tony next. I guess Farty approved him as a new employee for the company. I'm not sure, but 1 and 1 is 2, right? Oopsie. Shame for their strict ethics code, though. I send 2 physical binders of binder number 1 to the 2 of the top managers, I knew from a party, but also to their HR department through an anonymous tip line at their company. You remember binder 1? That's all I wanted to leak at their firm they worked at, as the second was a nuke, reserved for the cult's LLC. And the nail, destroying Sarah. Also, with an affidavit added, caught them mid-act, linking Farty to their cheating and use of narcotics. Harlan added some parts with concerns of a narcotic ring starting within their firm. Workplace misconduct, inappropriate relations with colleagues, all submitted online. No name, just facts. Also added a part in which I stated my formal goal, as I wanted to help the company and give them a chance to deal with this matter within, instead of sharing it online and publicly. But let's be real here. The informal goal, total and utter shame and destruction on those three. They would know it's me. After doing so, I found out they knew. One of the top managers contacted me, not directly saying they knew it was me, but wanted to ask if I'm divorcing Sarah, if it was me initiating a divorce. When I told him yes, he told me he was sorry to hear that. I told him I was sorry too, told me he thought of me as a stand-up man and wanted to share some news. He said vaguely that certain acts aren't accepted and they deal with it fast, that if my lawyer would want to know more, he had a contact within the company that could give more information, which might help me if I have any questions too. I knew what he meant, and he was helping me by talking in safe code. But all it showed was that he was scared I would go public, as the vanilla cheating from Binder One was bad enough for the company's image. Oh, if only he knew the truth, but I got no reason to attack his company. I told him we would be in contact, but didn't tell him directly that I had anything to do with the anonymous tip. The person within the company was some spokes guy from another company. When I introduced myself, he told me what certain company could do to certain 3 employees in the case of a certain this happening, telling me to listen and draw my own conclusions. I was grateful for this gift and took the information for what it was, a gift and goodwill from the manager. That manager was a top dog, and I got all the info I needed. Translating it all, this was the information. Tony was suspended for 2 days, then let go within his trail period, so fired by week's end. Drug bust helped, cops report leaked, the felony record sealed the deal. Farty and Sarah suspended too, then fired. Farty's employment terminated due to drug-related misconduct, hiring someone who's obviously not allowed as a new hire, so kicked out without severance package. For Sarah, it was all of the above mentioned, except for the corrupt hiring. No severance? Well, oopsie. I'm curious how their first conversations went to be a fly on that wall. Couch surfing initiated for all 3. Maybe the cult has a big leather couch for them, used for auditioning. Then for the deeper cut. Their workplace handled, but their secret cult was still operational. The leader, Elias Grant. I got enough, but I dug their forums again, and a paralegal showed me some stuff she found too, about people complaining about unpaid refunds and potential tax dodges. Harlan's investigator pulled records. Grant's LLC, serving as a non-profit growth. Income unreported, so thousands might be funneled for his personal use. Past lawsuits. One ex-member sued for emotional fraud. Lost, but flags up. Many complaints about them unjustly taking money from old members that stopped their monthly fees subscription. We tipped IRS Anonymous. Form 3949A. Unreported income from events. Seminars mask exclusive private swing party fees. You know what I mean by that. Attached emails, bank traces. Sarah's payments linked him. IRS bit hard. Audit notice hit Grant weeks later. I heard through online chatter as members panicked. Leaders' seminars canceled. Tax probe. Some commenter celebrating the probe is finally going to be used on Grant. I chuckled at that one. The push from IRS was the first domino needed. Now the vultures came in hard and from everywhere, Grant's and his business and website being discussed on other forums with new people attacking him and his advocates as scammers. This is where there were no more new posts from Sarah nor Farty. Some seemed to be scammed online, with many saying the meetups weren't real. Wish that was true, so apparently they also took lots of money from people that were never able to join their private rendezvous and after-hours events. Members demanded refunds. Fights online ensued. "You scammed us." His response, tests of faith. The lies stopped working and his stink spread. One banker member, divorced, job probed for distractions. Teacher, school board sniffed ethics. All negative. Grant's world seemed to shrink as no more events were being mentioned. In the weeks that followed, he was clearly exposed. Grant scrambled of the grid, for the public at least. Catharsis pure on my end. His greed and rot boomeranged. His followers, Sarah even, forced to swallow the bitter pill, fired from her real job, now losing her important spot within this cult, lost her admin role in the forum. Curious to how many she recruited for the scammer, emails could prove it, but I don't have them all. This is where Binder 2 came in handy, and Binder 2 evolved into Binder 3. As more evidence surfaced linking Sarah to Grant Scam LLC and his so-called cheating cult, her involvement in the criminal activities became undeniable. So I thought the binder deserved to be called Binder 3. Spoke with Sarah's parents during a visit to Alex at my place. Sarah wasn't allowed, of course. They told me Farty got fired due to doing bad things. Sarah's in a huge fight with her. Parents ask my why. I don't have a clue. Her parents telling me that Sarah told them about being let go as she grew out of that job. Well, when everything is exposed, she can spill all her growth over and let everyone enjoy. Binder 3 has everything, also containing new facts, and we linked everything. Sarah used sick days at her previous workplace to join meetups. Attached snippets. Her invites, Farty's replies. No names direct, but clear. Bank statements updated with links to the LLC and Grant directly. The links with use of narcotics, private mails to her previous colleagues, trying to invite them during days she actually worked. Talking about snow with Farty and referring to meetup during company hours. Dealing narcotics? Also messages and promotional videos in which she's promoting parties while using their typical fraudulent terms to lure people. But her involvement is clear enough. She's willingly part of it. Binder 3 will be interesting for the authorities, her old workplace that let her go already, the IRS, her family and friends, but most important, fuel for the divorce settlement. I began having more trouble sleeping as the excitement grew. People I knew, family members, shared acquaintances, and her old colleagues whispered. Farty quit too? Firm cleaned house, but what about Sarah? I was used to the backlash of her cheating, but nobody knew it was going to get way worse. Then, when I thought it couldn't get any worse, it got way worse. Sarah, the woman that had been the love of my life, who I thought was a strong and smart woman, showed herself to be weak, spineless, and lacking any morals. But I didn't think she was this stupid, as I now know she is. Dwight sent me a message warning me that Sarah started her own side gig. Apparently, she contacted Dwight's wife, who let Dwight know and then blocked Sarah on everything. Sarah started her own lifestyle empowerment coaching service, also selling an ebook. Promotional posts with her thin face visible, indicating a healthy lifestyle. Offering services to talk about individual problems and offering solutions to all kinds of mental health problems and bad life decisions. I couldn't believe it, with offers and deals of private Zoom calls, one-on-one talk sessions, advice for cheaters, lifeline tips for mothers whose ex-husband took away their children, guarantees of solutions. Even showing proof she's not only, her words, qualified by life experienced, but also with certificates I never heard of, adding a payment preference with either Bitcoin or Ethereum. This woman became a social media entrepreneur. I'm sure she isn't bored anymore, though. Last strike, Harlan flagged it as misrepresents as legit therapy without a legitimate license. Certain fraud claims killed it on their platforms, but not all. Her Linktree and website was still up. I reported to payment processors. PayPal, Stripe, Coinbase, all of the ones that were linked, attached her posts and emails. Activity on her remaining accounts stopped, and pictures with her face were deleted by herself. But as you have it, some people felt duped and made posts calling her a fraud. Her website went offline after that. We added everything to Binder 3. Yes, I was shocked, but I liked it. She turned me into this man. I want her broke, isolated. I want her to start more fraudulent companies. Let her parents be ashamed. Let her world turn into dust. Let her be a jobless shell, begging for scraps. I hate this new me, but whenever Alex asked for his mommy, my hate for her reignited fully. For Sarah, money dried up across the board. Accounts locked, jobs gone, gigs dead. Guess more civil matters will start against her too, regarding fees unpaid. The LLC got mentioned in official online news outlets as Grant got audited and more members were exposed. Sarah and Farty weren't mentioned here, but I held Binder 3 close to the chest. Mission succeeded, now they're weak. Next, expose them socially. With their wallets bled dry, their shields are down. But I wasn't done. Legal wins and money hits stung, but real pain comes from eyes turning away. I want Sarah to go shopping and see people turn or give her the stink eye. Her parents look at her with pain, but I want them to look at her with utter disgust. I want them to regret investing their parenthood and love into that filth she turned into. I want her to see it, to feel it. I want it all to be too much to bear for her. Sarah thrived on secrets. So did this cult. Whispers in circles with hidden hookups. The Cheaters Collective sold privacy as power. They lured weak people with secrecy. NDAs, fake names, all that crap. Those left in that group, what stops them from continuing between themselves? They are connected. They are still able and active. Farty and Sarah were in the operations. A temporary fight between them won't stop a true friendship. Time to rip the veil. Expose them to the world. Let shame do the work. I'd saved clips from her emails, hidden in invites, seminar footages, grainy but clear enough. One hit me differently. Sarah at a retreat mic, timed after the Tony incident, circle of 20, half lit, and Sarah looking like she's doing great. Lots of makeup though. She spoke boldly, like she was in a cheap corn movie. Found that stung a bit. It's growth, right? Small interview with her describing rotations. Share partners like club perks. Feel desired, alive. Surrounding guys and some females cheering with Grant coming into the video frame, holding her tightly, her face falling into his chest, and the frame goes to another person yapping on the absolute fun they have with certain themes coming up in the future. I saw many, many more with her going into specifics. Added other parts showcasing the activities of the cult, including promotions. I chose selectively which were most impactful to leak. It would be gold to add as proof to Binder 3. Uploaded the segment to a throwaway on YouTube, private video. Proof of the madness. Keeping the link ready. Family reveal came at the day after Thanksgiving. Her parents hosted, neutral ground and no kids allowed. Asked them if they're sure, pretending I don't have ulterior motives. Her parents asked me to let it go and come to have a family moment with them. That stung a bit. Her parents' poor attempt at trying to repair the vanilla betrayal of their daughter was obvious. 2 uncles and aunts and 3 cousins from her side were present, either wanting to see drama or genuinely want to support Sarah's parents. I came with a big bag full of presents. I greeted Sarah verbally only first, then everyone with a hug, then Sarah too. I did hug her tight. For me, I'm grateful for what she gave me, our child. I did it for the Sarah I knew before all this. Bonus, I did so to ease the tension before I released the mother of all bombs on her. Didn't work much. Tension stayed thick, but a delicious turkey, newly prepared by Sarah and her mom, was welcome and brought everyone to the table. I sat across her, pale, micromanaging the food placement on the table, mostly quiet. Parents avoided eyes. Family talked my ear of everyone avoiding the subject of divorce, mostly talking about Alex and asking me what I'm up to. One cousin asking Sarah how she's doing, she goes on about how she's managing greatly and wants to show pictures of her new place. I don't want to see them, people notice, and that same cousin keeps talking to Sarah while we eat and talk about other stuff. After the pie, her mom asked me if I liked it. I did and said so, to which she said that Sarah made it because she knew it was my favorite. I looked at her, told her, "You knew me so well." Those words hit her. She was about to cry, but kept it in. Then I said, "It's only now that I know you too, Sarah. I think it's time for everyone to see you, for who you really are." Silence overcame everyone. I stood up and walked towards my bag, brought it to where I sat, took multiple copies of Binder 3s out. Small detail, they looked like the first binders Sarah saw before, but a small difference, these were huge. Time you all see full. Her dad stood up, said this is not the time. Told him I would leave, but they have the right to know the truth. Told them in a soft voice that I'm willing to show them once, but can't do so any other time because it would break me. He sat back down, told them they would be reading the truth and that in the binder there's a link to a video with more proof. I said, before I let you all be, just know that Sarah didn't cheat on me with one person. She did so with hundreds. Her moms stand up in shock. Others grab their binders, but I stopped them. Please wait. I need you all to listen. Sarah tried to mumble, but her dad silenced her immediately. Sarah's in a cult of people who cheat. She's recruiting for them too. Memberships, games, and fraud. It's all in there. Her mom's face hardened. 100? Sarah started creating her tears again. Her dad didn't open the binder yet, stood up and said, "Out." Now, no yelling, just done. I told him I would go so everyone could take their time, told them to keep their copies, and told them I'm sorry for having to tell them all of this. Sarah kept staring like she had the 1,000-yard stare. I walked out, taking my empty bag with me. A cousin called me on speaker 3 hours later, only the uncles and other cousins present, all saying they cut ties with Sarah. One uncle saying her parents did too, but we'll see about that when they feel like visiting Alex with her. They're all saying how sorry they are. I let them talk and mostly listen. The truth will need time to settle. The truth needs time to spread now. No more calls after that from her side of the family. I'm feeling better, though. The proof crushed last bonds. Her family will isolate her, gone because of the shame. Parents told mutuals. She's lost. Ripple hit more aunts, cousins. Invites would stop, for Sarah, but me also. Directly after, second work circle blast followed. Sarah's old firm, even post-suspension, with colleagues chatted her up. Heard you're coaching? Lies. I emailed the HR a copy of Binder 3, anonymously again. Attached invites, texts, snippets. Recruiting for swinging cult at work. Ethical non-monogamy pitches during shifts. Videos linked. No threats, just facts. After 3 days, one of her old coworkers texted me, "Office is exploding here. You gotta give this to the police." Views of the video reaching over 1,680 views in just 4 days total. All viewers from within our circle, now access to that private link. Cult members outed now, I uploaded anonymized Binder 3 so it couldn't be traced to me, then uploaded that version on forums, Facebook, Reddit, and anonymously mailed to some victims. All added information we found on Grant and his LLC activities. Proof on recent fraud, but also adding public records and his real past, like tax dodges, emotional fraud, and financial fraud suits. Adding the many unpaid refund requests. Key members named and linked, also introducing the narcotics element link, naming the members, and linking the comments they made about it. Sarah added casually too, also about her own short-term scam she went for. See, she would know it was me, and I wanted it to sting extra. So you might call me pity here, but for her picture, I didn't screenshot anything from footages of her open to the public. Oh no, I added a picture of her that I made during a vacation while she was pregnant. She was sitting on a rock, sunset behind her, happy. Life was perfect. Our baby was coming. I wanted people to see. I wanted Sarah to see herself fulfilled, then feel the pain, go back to the moment of true joy. Only to realize she's actually reached rock bottom now. Also added a whole chapter on people who were scammed, got their families and relationships destroyed. Even 2 that got STDs. Even though I couldn't qualify those 2 being truthful, I still added them for good measure. Dozens were hit publicly. Gossip would spill over into their personal lives. Their employers would probe, spouses filing, and the divorces will spike. Secrets protected them. Now their own secrets would end all of them. Social shame had cracked their facade. Whispers turned to shouts online. I heard Sarah was shunned by her parents, but after she had to get out of her rental, she went to them and they took her in for 2 days. I don't blame her parents. It must have been full-on poison in their household. After those 2 days, she went to stay at a friend's house. Someone who isn't all bad and not in any way involved with this. Let's call that friend Tina. Tina messaged me, telling me she's sorry and that Sarah's staying at her place for some time before she's able to get back on her feet. I thank her for letting me know that I appreciate knowing Sarah is safe at her place. Of course, I want her to fill me in on info, whereabouts and such. Told her I'm concerned for her, but I can't go in depth concerning anything surrounding Sarah's needs, hinting for taps. I asked her to keep an eye on her because Sarah previously threatened to hurt herself and the family takes it as a serious threat. She didn't know, now shocked. Now turned into my little birdie for basic taps. Sarah hiding jobless and broke, the cult's public forums were non-existent, but of course the core still clung and surely stuck together in their shared pity. After a week, Tina tells me that Sarah is doing better, literally going to NA meetings, Narcotics Anonymous, to work on bettering herself. Sweet, innocent Tina, she doesn't know. Here's where I, with the help of a PI, found out where the group is still active. Smaller events, Sarah pretending to work on herself. The same excuse, no shame of any lesson learned. Can't make this up, really? But the group is hit, obviously. Now small meetups take place seemingly 4 times a week, like your regular Zumba class at the gym. Smaller events, the PI said, no more than 30 people would be walking in and out of the seemingly creepy basement of a side building next to a shopping mall. Sarah attended all of them religiously, desperate for scraps of her old high. I joined the PI once. I watched from afar. I wanted to get a better taste of the place. Harlan prepped the final blow. Divorce hearing loomed, but I wanted to see her being served. This was it. This was everything I worked for, so I timed it perfectly. Not at her door, no quiet handoff in private, so she could slimmer back inside and hide like the parasite she is. I wanted it to be in full view of others, double the pressure. She knows it's coming, doesn't matter. I want this to be the last hit that destroys her. I want it to eat at her memory for the rest of her life. She looked healthy in that video fragment. I want to take away that last bit of health, even if it was fake. During their next so-called NA meeting, I would sit on their meeting. Their make it public. Harlan and the PI sat me down, telling me that the police had warrants for the arrest out for 4 members, including Grant. Yes, life is good, but it's going to be great. Let the cult feel the raid. Cops on hand, chaos for all. Her world, their lies, end it all with a loud bang. The cops didn't know about the regular meetups nor the location, so Harlan suggested we set up our own plans first and as soon as possible, then calls the cops right before we serve her. Important to do it fast now, because we don't want to have this information and not share it with the authorities, thus harming our gravitas. Harlan coordinated tightly with the PI, 2 hired bodyguards in civilian clothing, and a process server. The creepy thing is, the NA meeting seemed real because we were able to find a real website linked to the address, but there was nothing useful on there, only a link to other real NA and AA talk groups. At least the cult had the decency to do that for the real people in need. But let's be honest here, it was to keep their front believable and protected. I thought, why would they be so dumb to actually set up a NA talk group front, as their drug charges were still up and being investigated? I think it was so, because most of the members that were left needed a believable front for their family members so they could again escape and meet up. It's sick, a whole new level of sick and evil. Sorry, drifting off. So Harlan filed an official service motion. Process server hired on the books, the same we already spoke. Benefits of having a connected lawyer and PI. The server was a ex-cop type, burly, no fear, a disdain for injustice. The day and moment came on a Friday night. We first anonymously tipped local PD about the address on their website. Potential drug dealing site where a cartel-type group might be active. Then we called the cops, identifying ourselves as who we were. We found multiple people that might be of interest, names, and that we had seen them going into said building. The operator told us that units were on their way, and for us to stay away from the building. Harlan and the PI stayed outside. One of the 2 hired men, process server and I, went in. The other hired man was already inside, pretending to wanting to join the NA meeting, giving us info on what he's seeing and if it was safe to enter. He confirmed it actually looked as a real NA meeting, just a boring cold room with chairs, some cheap food, drinks, and just 4 people getting a drink and walking from and towards a door. When that door opened, he saw more people seemingly hanging out in same-looking room where a presentation would be held. He entered, told us it's starting, and we got eyes on Sarah. To get in now, pretty easy stuff. My heart pumping. I went in with the last man and process server, all 3 walking our own separate ways, finding our ways to sit amongst the people in the circle. Mind you, I came in last, as I would keep standing near the door for an easy exit if necessary. I stepped in the chilly room with a good overview of the people and vibe. The room buzzed with strange-looking people wearing awkward smiles and clothing. About 20 people sat in a circle. 10 were standing, some were even starting to hold hands like it was some sacred ritual. Tony and Farty not in sight. My wife, Sarah, stood up and addressed the circle, yapping about how the outsiders won't understand real love like they all have. Let's call it what it is, cheating without shame, preaching affairs. Then a loud cough took over, my server standing up, asking if she's Sarah, in a friendly tone like he knew her personally. Walks towards her, she was taken aback, looked defensively. The server mentioned her last name, asking to verify. She verified it, to which he shoved the divorce papers into her hands. You've been served, divorce summons, respond in 30 days, have a wonderful night. She turned silent, visibly shaken. People start whispering. Grant stands up, yells at the server to get out before he calls the cops, that it's a private meeting. The server was already turned and walking towards me, the exit. She turned pale. I took a picture with a flash, her eyes locking on mine from across the room. You? She asked, followed by a screech. Her screech was soothing to me. Finally, I rejoiced. Grant yelling at me and the server, aggressively moving towards me, with his pretentious slick shirt half-buttoned, the cuck he is. I'll never forget the server's grin on his face when he rushed past me. Chaos erupted, chairs scraping, more people yelling at me to get out. I'll swear someone threw a filled cup of tea of coffee, but it didn't reach us. My 2 hired bodyguards ran towards me, grabbing me as if they are members of the group, pushing me out through the exit of the door. My eyes still locked on Sarah, her arms falling down straight, then crumpled to the floor, papers scattered. Booyah, feel it skank. When I turned, I ran with the guys, but at the same time, the cops came walking into the first room. At the sight of us, hearing the commotion, a whole group of cops entered the building. Grant running after us, then yells at the cops they can't enter without a warrant, that they have a session going. One cop shows his badge, got him silent. Another grabbed him and pushed him against the wall, arresting him, got him humiliated. Our eyes locked while I walked out. I gave him my best shit-eating grin of my life. As we walked out, we passed more cops, met up with Harlan and the PI outside. Finished finally, everyone got nuked. I got my revenge. 3 of the 4 were arrested, 1 got away, not a big deal. Grant had snow on him, so did the others. How dumb can you be? A detective took my short statement down of what happened, telling me I was reckless, lucky, and he wished me well on the divorce proceedings. I emphasized I was only there to see my wife getting served. No glance back, blocked every channel possible. Got a new number, got ready to sell the house, and looked for a new school for Alex. Ghosted her full. No glance back. Harlan handled the last steps. Any successful attempt from her side got the same answer. Tell her to contact my lawyer. Silence my weapon. She tried once through a mutual visiting my job. Beneficial talk for the future of Alex. Ignored, we got the supervised visits only. At a park, neutral. Now the last steps. Once she waited after a supervised visit at the park, her parents present too. They tried to engage. I told them, the court will talk. No replies fed her panic. She asked me why her text bounced, why I'm being such a prick, that I'm evil, screaming that she's glad we're divorcing, then screaming for forgiveness and to give her a chance. I walk out with Alex. I don't want him to have her breakdown being engraved in his little mind, edged forever. I tell her dad to get her to stop, for Alex. He grabbed her, then told me I didn't have to get the cops involved. Last statement to him was that I didn't, she did it herself. Media invites sealed their fate. I tipped the local news, anonymous, the good Samaritan I am. Arrests took place in fraud case, possession and dealing of drugs and human trafficking in the form of paid hookups, divorce served mid-event. Attached snippets. Binder 3, all of it. Court confrontation came weeks later. Custody hearing tied in, Harlan subpoenaed Grant. He fought, but showed. I took stand first. Calm facts. Wife joined via coworker, pushed open relationships. Wife started to act different, endangered our son. Then Grant was called up. Harlan grilled him on all the facts, with his squirming and nodding yeses. Then all the proof followed, like Sarah's notes. Farty sold it. Tony hooked her first. Judge frowned like it was a TV show. Cult tactics, use of narcotics, cheating with so many people, all near a child? Grant would insist it was for empowerment only. But as evidence stacked, videos played, his multiple fraud cases pending, including his arrests mentioned, his absurd core was exposed. Grant cracked under every form of pressure, the weak man he is. Sarah's lawyer was weak, mentioning her clean tests multiple times as proof of her goodwill. Sarah got grilled, her walls all taken down. Harlan asked directly what her body count was. Her lawyer raised an objection, which the judge swiftly overruled. After multiple tries, no answer, with Harlan counting from 1 to 5 people, then counting in multiples of 10, 20, 30, 40. With Harlan stopping at 50 when Sarah burst into crying. Harlan concluding that she won't count in the hundreds because Sarah's silence is deafening. Second time I shed tears in that court and the judge called for a break. First time shedding tears was when Alex was mentioned. Sarah's lawyer wanted to let Alex be questioned, but the judge instead talked to Alex without the fuss and court surrounding him. Court gave me full custody. Supervised visits once every other week, 2 hours max for Sarah, but I could grant her more if I saw fit. Her parents absent in all this, they cut her loose, finally seemed to have chosen Alex over their daughter who keeps messing up. Divorce ended swiftly. Everything that was paid for things I didn't approve concerning the cult and forbidden candy, all paid back. Investments granted to me, credit card debts from Sarah didn't flow over to my side. Her attempt to take a loan out on my name too, after we separated, seemed to be a direct insult to the judge. Sarah got 50-50 on the house, though. I had a small LLC thing going in, ran my free time. It owed me around $40,000 in debt. Sarah forfeit all right to that too. Isn't much, but still a win I want to mention. The judge spoke harshly in the end, also stating that the divorce is at fault, but even if Sarah would have gained money from all this, the judge would see it as a catastrophic risk to enable her past choices. Judge also wished Sarah luck regarding the upcoming criminal case. Court wrapped up, Dwight hugging me. Harlan shook my hand. "You did it, a clean win." I nodded, but inside, waves crashed. Relief mixed with that deep hate. Her choices led us here. Now, our son is safe. I scooped Alex up outside. He laughed at pigeons. I cried. Alex then asked for a happy meal. He got it. Got a new house near my parents, too. A fresh start. Her life after, shattered core, ghosted, outed, raided. She built this. She preached it. She really earned the fall. How do I know this? Well, as dust settled, I saw full impact on their lives. Sarah's downfall hit fast after the divorce. Jobless from the HR blast, no admin gig, no side coaching. She crashed at Tina's couch again, but Tina got wind of the truth. Sarah's lies spread, and any last person that wanted to help now wanted to keep their own lives safe. Her parents? Ashamed eyes when I dropped Alex for visits. "She looked like she's trying," her mom said once. Trying? After everything? Number? They cut her for 90%. Small groceries only, as she begged them for cash and they don't want her to roam the streets. Her dad telling me they want to make sure Sarah stays presentable for the sake of Alex. seeing his mom as normally as possible. I can respect that, only for Alex's sake. She deleted her socials, but traces lingered as she stayed in the same town. Shame ate her alive. No friends left. Has a new hobby, seems to spend her time on knitting toys she wants to gift Alex during supervised visitations. I double-check them thoroughly before letting those in my house, put them away when Alex doesn't play with them anymore. Farty left town with her kids. Rumors got the best of her. Wasn't at the meeting when we server Sarah. Tony? Felon record tanked him. Never heard anything of him again. Also nothing on that strange bodybuilder. Would have loved to thank him, though. The Cheatology cult? Dead. Leader Grant arrested again 2 months post-court. New fraud charges. IRS audit dug deeper. Unreported income from his other gigs. His LLCs crumbled. Cops raided his office. Found ledgers, the crypto kind, fake NDAs with forged signatures. Wrote my story down as you're reading it right now. Sent it in and gave exclusive permission to Royal A.I. to cover it. We'll see about the traction and the comments. Now I have a reference point and can share the more entertaining link with those I deem worthy. My growth started slow. Alex and I settled in the new spot. 3 bedrooms, Parkview. My job steady, promotion came right after. More pay with flexible hours. Dropped him at preschool, picked up at evenings. Grandparents have all the time and pick him up early more often. Mom baked pies. Dad fished with him. Strong boy, he'd say. Therapy helped me too, just weekly sessions for now. I spilled it all. What do I have to hide there? My anger was valid, but I needed to channel it, to heal. So I did. Focused on Alex mostly. Bedtime stories, soccer practice. His hugs fixed cracks. No more nights staring ceilings, and sleep came easier. Dwight and other friends rallied, trying to set me up. Not yet, though. My son first. Therapy peeled layers. Her excuses were absurd. Also, no forgiveness, though. Ever. She risked Alex near that filth. Therapy really turned rage to resolve. Became a stronger and more present dad. A better life. Sarah's visits? Awkward clock ticks. Center room. Toys scattered with a weekly knitted toy she'd made. She became better, though. Could sense she was spending lots of time on those. She'd arrive late to the appointments, though. Makeup thick. Hi, buddy? Alex would always stay polite and play with his blocks. But her eyes begged me. Can we talk? No, supervised meant rules. Worker watched close, but she'd push nonetheless. I quit the group. You were right. It's just religion now. Church job, Sunday school? Redeeming herself, sort of. I always kept my stare blank as her excuses piled. Whenever she addressed me concerning anything else but Alex, I removed myself from her reach. She even threw in a, "You ghosted me." Yeah, and she earned it, but she didn't earn my responses anymore. As she tried more and more, the visits shortened. Alex asked less about his mom. Mom's busy? Smart kid. Her parents from time to time. Awkward nods with the occasional, "she's changed," from her mom. Doubt it, but I do know that her downfall is complete now. Job at church? Entry pay. Basement life. No car. Repossessed. Walked everywhere. Parents' shame hung heavy. Don't tell family, her dad said. But word spread, cousins all iced her. Looking back, revenge brought catharsis. Legal nukes, wallet hits, social storms. Cult got dismantled. Lives were wrecked. Grant jailed. Members lost what they had dear. Sarah is nothing but a broken shell. But I, the most betrayed, am beginning to become the most healed. Alex did well. His laughs filled our new home. Therapy mended scars, but even though the hate lingered, I was looking forward to find a new woman. Might go for what I actually like this time, with morals and physically wise. No regrets? She chose poison. I chose us.
Hey, you. That brings us to the end of this story. Special gratitude to OP for sharing his story with us. And, please be respectful in the comments section. Be sure to share your advice for OP down below. You like the way these stories are brought to you? If so, I got you covered. Thank you for staying till the end. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. See you in the next one.